use NavParams to move data from one page to another. So to get started, let's visit the ionicframework.com page. Then right here, we can search, or let's go to API reference. Under API reference, we can search for NavParams. So we are going to make use of the NavParams. So search for NavParams. So right here, you can see we have this NavParams. Click on it. We just read the description. Now it says NavParams are an object that exists on a page and can contain data for that particular view. So if we want to move data from one page to another, we can use the NavParams. And how do we use it? Let's see how we can use the NavParams. But first, inside our app.html page, we need to add a click event on the button. Let me go back to our Weather Ionic page. You can see right here, I need to refresh this. On the side menu, you can see we have a button, but there's no click event or any event added to the button. So what we are going to do is we'll add a click event with a method so that when we click right on the item, it's going to display the information for that particular item. What we are going to do in this video is once we click on this item, we are going to display the name of the city right here in this Ion navbar. So inside our app.html and on the button, I'll add a click event equal, and there's a method already created. If we go into our app.component.ts, you scroll to the bottom, we can use this method or we can decide to create our own method. So I'll just use this open page method. So inside here, I'll pass open page, then I'll pass in P, the page itself. Now I'm getting this P from here, from this page. So click method with open page, passing in P. Now if I go into app.component.ts, let me just delete this comment. Right here, we are already setting the root nav. So what this will do is whatever is passed here, if we open that particular page, that page will be set as the root. We are not going to see the back arrow button on the page. But if we are using the push method, then once we push a new page on the stack, we'll see the back button method. That is the difference between the set root and the push methods that are used on this nav controller. So to use the NavParams, first we need to pass an object with a key and a value inside this set root method. If you are using the push method, you can pass in the object as well, or if you are using the set root method. So right here, as you can see, it says the nav controller, it takes a page view or view controller, it takes a param, which are all optional, but the page or view controller is something that we need to put. So inside here, I'll just give a key. I can call the key weather info. You can pass it as an object. Then the value is going to be page. Now let me do it this way. So let me pass it as an as a string. So the key here is a string. Then the value is the page that we get from the method, and we are getting it also right from here. So with this now, we can, whatever page we want to make use of this weather info, we use the NavParams method to get the key. Now that we have this, let's go open our home.ts file. Inside the home.ts file, we have not touched this. I'll just clear this out. Then I'll take out also this console.log method. I'll bring all of this down. Now you can see inside here we have the nav controller, which allows us to navigate from one page to another, and we also have the NavParams, which enables us to get values from another page. Now it's already injected into the constructor. Inside our Ion view did load, you can do it inside the constructor, but I want to do it inside the Ion view did load. But first I need to create two variables. The first one is going to be location info, and it's going to be of type any. Then the second one is going to be city name, and it's going to be of type string. So this location info, we store or we hold the information that we get from the NavParams. That is the information we get from here, from this page. Then this city name, we are going to store the name of the particular city. Now to get from the NavParams, I'm going to say this.location.info, set it equal to this.navparams.get. Now this NavParams has a get method. If I go back here, you can see the get method right here. To get whatever value or get the key, we need to use the get method. Then inside, I just need to pass this string. So I'll copy this out here. So whatever you pass as the key, that is what you are going to use inside the get NavParams get method. So right now you can see we have passed in the key. So if I do a console.log this.location.info, then let me come here, search for any console.log, take it out. So okay, so inside the home.ts file, let me save right now, go back to the page, open the console in the browser so we can see the information. So right now we are not seeing any information. Now the only way we can see an information is only when we click on this. So in case you reload yours and you see undefined, don't worry. To see this value from the console.log, we need to just click on this. So click on this here, you can see the weather information that contains the forecast weather and the current weather. So because we are passing this inside a click method right here, so to see the value, we just have to click on this button. So whenever I click on this, you are going to see the information. So what I need to do right now is, let me go back. I want to get the current weather name. So to get the weather name, it's going to be, we're going to go into this weather object, then inside we get this weather name. So I'll say this.city name equal to this.location.info.weather.name. So with this now, we have stored the weather name or the city name inside this city name value we created here. Then let's go up to our home.html file. So inside our home.html file, I'll add the city name. Now we are making use of this city name because we declared it right here and we added or initialized a value. So once this Ion view did load is called, we are going to get this NavParams, and also we are going to set the weather name equal to the city name that we created, and it will be displayed right here. So I'll save this, then go back here. Now you can see I'm getting an error right here that says this weather is not known, because I added it inside the Ion view did load, and this has not been gotten because this Ion view did load has not yet loaded. So what I'm going to do right now is I'll just use an if statement. So if this dot location, so we are only going to display the name if we have values inside this location location variable. So if we have a value, then we are going to set the city name. Then one more thing we need to do, let's go into our app.component.ts. So right here you can see we set the root page to be the home page. So what we want to do right here as well is, after setting the storage values, we need to set the root page to the home page. So when we launch the application, the home page will be displayed, and also the value we get from this current weather info method will be set as the root page. So I'll paste this right here. Now I'll still leave this key. I'll still use the same key because that is what we are using right here. But for the value, it's going to be this dot location. So what I did right here is, after setting the values in the local storage, then I set the root page to be the home page. Then I pass the object with weather info as the key. Then this dot location, it's the value that is passed. Then inside our Ion or home.ts with Ion view did load, we are calling the weather info using the NavParams method, .get method. So if I save this right now and I go back, so right here now you can see I have the city name. If I click on this, it's going to display this by default because we are setting the home page as the root page. So if I have another information or item right here and say maybe New York, if I click on it, the name right here will change to New York, and that will be set as the root page. So now you can see we have a way of passing information from one page to another using the NavParams, and also we can do the same, pass information from one component to another component. In the next video, we are going to display more information right here on this home page.